You built a real store, you fulfill what you sell, and you refund the people who ask. So it would never cross your mind that your refund rate could be the thing that stops you taking cards at all. On July 24, a Mastercard rule changes that, and it does not care whether you are honest. It reads your numbers. Subscribe, because in the next 10 minutes I give you the exact 5% threshold to check before July 24th, and I do one fix like this every week. Here is what changed, why clean stores get caught, and what I fix first. Start with what actually changes. Mastercard is pushing the policing down to your acquirer, the company that processes your cards. From July 24th, once your store trips a defined signal, that acquirer is required to open an investigation and finish it inside 72 hours. If they conclude you are running a scam, they stop you accepting Mastercard immediately. There is no gradual wind down, no probation, no extended warning period. This applies to card-not-present stores, which means if you sell online, it means you. And the important part is the trigger is data, not a complaint. Nobody has to accuse you of anything. Your own numbers raise the hand. Now the numbers, because this is the part worth writing down. The main one is a combined rate, refunds and chargebacks added together, crossing 5% of your purchase transactions across any rolling 30-day period, measured once you are past roughly 500 transactions in that window. Note that refunds count, not just disputes. Your own generous returns policy feeds this number. The second trigger is about approvals. If you run at least 25 purchase transactions inside a 72-hour stretch and your approval rate falls by 50 percentage points or more, that alone starts an investigation. And if your store has under 6 months of card acceptance history, you sit in a heightened monitoring window where the thresholds are tighter still. So a new store scaling fast is the most exposed store on the list. So why does this catch stores doing nothing wrong? Because a 5% combined refund and chargeback rate is not rare. It is a Tuesday. One bad batch from a supplier. One product that photographs better than it arrives. One sizing run that is off. And refunds spike past the line inside a single month. A launch week or a viral moment distorts the rolling window all by itself. Because your transaction count and your refund count do not move at the same speed. A payment processor outage drags your approval rate down through the floor without you touching anything. None of that is fraud. But the rule reads the pattern, not your intent, and the investigation lands on you either way. The burden then sits on you to prove your business is what you say it is, inside 72 hours, using records you may not have organized. Here is the first fix, and it is the one that actually moves the number. Stop looking at your average refund rate and go find the products driving it, because refunds concentrate. A handful of items usually generate most of the returns, and the reason is almost always the listing promising something the product does not deliver. Wrong color in the photo, missing dimensions, a size chart that is a guess. So I fix the listing before I touch the policy, because that removes the refund instead of hiding it. Then I put an exchange or store credit in front of the cash refund, so a return keeps the sale and does not add to the number Mastercard reads. And I screen the claims, because refund and policy abuse now ranks as the top fraud threat in ecommerce, and first-party fraud is behind more than 45% of chargebacks. Every refund you prevent honestly is a point of headroom under that 5% line. The second fix is the one nobody does until it is too late. Build the evidence file now. When that investigation opens, the acquirer is asking a short list of questions. Does your behavior match the business model you claim? Do customer complaints suggest deception? Does the transaction data reflect genuine demand? Can you substantiate fulfillment, refund handling, and customer communication? Every one of those is answerable if the records exist in one place, and unanswerable if they are scattered across an inbox, a spreadsheet, and someone's memory. So I set up the tracking that keeps proof of fulfillment and delivery attached to each order, logs how each refund was handled and what the customer was told, and holds it somewhere you can export it in an afternoon. You have 72 hours. That is not enough time to go build this. It is only enough time to hand it over. So do this before July 24th. Pull your last 30 days. Add your refunds and your chargebacks together. Divide by your total orders, and look at the number honestly. If it is anywhere near 5%, you are not comfortable. You are exposed, and the products causing it are where you start. If you want me to run that check properly and hand you the plan, I do a 72-hour audit for $497. If you want the refund rate brought down and the evidence workflow built for you, That is a 14-day sprint starting at $3,500. Subscribe, because I read every payment and platform rule change before it hits your store, and I turn it into one fix a week you can actually use.